Hi everybody, this is James.
T. Kirk.
And Sarah.
Captain.
And Rose.
Captain of the Starship Enterprise. And I've had 2.5 hours of sleep.
And you get 2 thumbs up.
The nose.
Yay!
Alright guys.
Rose is clapping for you.
What?
Go ahead.
What am I doing? Why am I leading this?
Today, we're going to talk about... We're going to talk about a movie that I didn't think... No, I knew better. No, I knew it was going to be like this. Oh god. I'm talking about Ghost in the Shell. Ah ha ha. Lie. Psych. That would have been better than Death Note on Netflix.
I'm not 100% sure that's accurate.
I don't want to find out though.
That's funny. Yep. Death Note.
So, I wanna summarize the video in a sentence. The whole movie Death Note in one sentence. I bet you I can do it. Spider-Man meets Final Destination with super angsty teenagers.
Spider-Man 3 specifically.
And which Final Destination?
Yes.
Insert Final Destination here.
Here, yeah. So, I'm not even going to give a spoiler warning except for that alarm that's going off right now. The alarm that I'm going to edit and post.
Oh, that's good. That's good. Yeah.
See?
Pa!
Rose doesn't like the movie very much either. See, that's about what it sums up to.
It's caca.
Hey, oh, we're trying not to use that word.
Well, she's using that word really well. It's not my fault.
We're trying to change that.
So,
Bud pie. That's what I heard.
I'm going to give my thoughts. I think it would have done...
Oh, bless you! Bless you!
I love you, Rose.
That's your team.
So, go ahead.
So yeah, what's your opinion on it?
I have this whole list of notes. I'm not even joking, like an entire thing of just... I think, because some of these things actually do work as a standalone film. The problem with this as a standalone film is we've seen this kind of movie way too many times. Like, way too many times. And it's a great way for a teen film to be constructed, but if it's going to be a teen film with lots of rated R action, which is really just the gooey death bits, then it's not really a really good teen rated R film. And that's the problem, is it's... I know what you did last summer with A Death God. And as far as the characters are concerned, I know you want to talk about some of the characters.
Well, there were 2 characters that I liked in it, and that was Elle and Ryuk. I think that Willem Dafoe did a good job voicing Ryuk.
Yes.
Actually, like, before I heard that Netflix was doing Death Note, my only thought was, man, wouldn't it be cool if Ryuk was voiced by Willem Dafoe? And then I looked it up before it actually came out on Netflix, and I was like, holy crap, it's being voiced by Willem Dafoe. Wow, the secret's real. So
Random, thank you.
So I was really happy about that, and I don't feel like I was let down by the character Ryuk. Elle I didn't really care about in the actual anime. Of course, it's been like years since I saw the anime, but I didn't really care that much about it. And then I watched the movie, and I'm like, actually, L seems like a really cool character in this, and I think I didn't like it in the anime because it was an anime trying to portray this really quirky, weird individual, and just came off as more cartoonish than serious. And then you put it to live action, and it makes sense. But then literally no other character in the movie made any damn sense, except maybe the dad. The dad was the only one that was really a normal guy.
I have to admit, James Turner. I'm not gonna get used to these name changes. James Turner was really well cast. I really liked him, and L, for the actor embodying L in this version, I feel did a really good job with his physical acting. I will say this though, there was only one scene where I'm kind of like, okay, you're stop being so extra, and that was
She's mad because she can't open the door all the way.
is the whole light running away from L scene to get to the Ferris wheel. That was just, we want to talk about ridiculous and cartoonish, dude. That was that.
There was a lot of unnecessary parkouring in that.
Yeah, like, I understand that he doesn't sleep a lot. For a guy who doesn't sleep a whole lot, his imitation of a Naruto ninja run was pretty good.
I was wondering why his arms weren't back. Like, it just, I mean...
Well, it doesn't save the animators time or money in this version.
That's fair. My issues... I have a huge issue with the fact that they whitewashed the hell out of this movie. And I really was hoping they wouldn't do that. Like, you could have... Like, I think there's been several... Has there been multiple attempts at a Death Note live action movie? I don't remember.
Yes, there was a Japanese live action film which actually did get a lot of praise.
Yeah.
And I do want to see that. It was on Netflix for a time, but I haven't seen it on Netflix for years.
I wanted... so, this is the second time I've seen it. First time I saw it was last week with my girlfriend. We were just we watched it. We kind of wish we hadn't watched it until after we watched the anime first, like rewatched it, because I hadn't seen the anime for years, forever, and neither had she. And so we both came to the conclusion.
I haven't seen it either.
Came to the conclusion that we're like, man, we should have watched the anime first, because we're thinking there's a lot of aspects of the movie that were like, is that a thing? I don't think that was a thing in the anime. I don't think that was a thing, you know. So it was basically like we couldn't tell if the movie was, and from everything I've read, the movie is definitely not even close to the anime.
So
for slight exceptions.
I saw the anime when it first came out, and there were 3 scenes in the anime that made me go, "Oh, that's really awesome! Like, this is good story writing." It's when Light very first finds the Death Note, because it's one of these, like, it feels like this really weird happenstance in the movie, and they kind of captured that from the anime, because it's like, what is this? A Death Note? I don't understand. The second part of the anime that made me go, oh, that's really good story writing, is the relationship between Light Yagami and L. And then the third is their friendship turning sour and L biting the big one after he finds out who Akira really is, or Kira really is. And I saw none of that build up in this movie. This movie, I feel, was very angsty. I feel like there must have been studio involvement, because toward the middle of the movie, it jumps the shark, and then there's no real direction, and there's a build up to Kira becoming this godlike entity in the anime, and in the movie it's like, let's do it in a montage. Montage.
So the problem I had with this is that they didn't. It was rushed. It was rushed. They didn't take their time with it. They decided they were going to try and jam like 30 episodes of an anime into a movie, and you cannot jam, 18 hours of runtime into an hour and a half. It's stupid to even attempt it.
Do you think if they made it a trilogy, it would have done better?
Yes.
Okay.
I think if they had at least made it into a trilogy, bare minimum, they could have done and basically taken, like, they should have watched the entire series, like the whole production team, cast, crew, everybody should have watched all of the source material, all of it, from the anime to any movies that had been made for it. They should have watched everything. Then they should have taken key points from what they've watched and incorporate them slowly into 3 to however many movies they wanted to make out of it. They could have done that, and it would have made it better. And I really feel like they were just like, well, we don't know what kind of reviews this is going to get, so we need to put as much into this as possible because we may not get to make a second movie because it may not warrant it.
So, one thing that I want to bring up that's really super important is we talked about in our Power Rangers review, spastic or really not spastic, but visual storytelling.
Yeah.
And I feel like if this was going to be a one and done, which it is right now, as far as we know, as far as the record date, we think it's a one and done. I'm thinking that they would have absolutely benefited from doing more visual storytelling and cutting the angsty teenage crap, in my opinion.
The character I hated the most out of all of them,
I already know who,
is Mia. I hate her so hard. She is so useless. There is no point to her whatsoever. She didn't even appear right away in the anime, as far as I remember.
No.
The way she did I don't even think she was named Mia in the anime.
Names escape me at the moment.
Yeah. But
What is her name in the anime?
the thing that I hated most about her was that she was literally like, she goes from 0 to retarded in like no time at all. It's like she finds out that this kid can like kill people by writing their name in a book, and all of a sudden it's, we could make a difference. The hell do you mean we? You're not doing anything. You're literally doing nothing. I hated her character. Hated it. She made no sense. Like, they literally could have replaced her with a cactus, and it would have been better.
Okay, so Death Note. Let's get into characters written by, published, so on and so forth.
I feel like I can't have a big enough problem with the whitewashing of this movie. Like, I'm so tired of trying to Americanize Japanese stuff. It's just so irritating.
Misa.
Misa? Right.
Which, by the way, there were a couple of other people that didn't make it in the movie that I'm just kind of like, okay. Even L's handler, I don't feel was like as strong as he could have been.
He wasn't in the movie that long. That's what I'm saying. Like, they jammed 30 some odd episodes into an hour and a half movie.
Yeah.
So it made absolutely no sense, and then they didn't even really follow much of the anime.
So, because we're not here to compare and contrast yet, we might do that down the road, compare and contrast video. But as a standalone, I don't think it holds much water because it's a movie that we've seen 1,000 times, and the elements that really make it special, the Death Note and Ryuk, are kind of passed over, overshadowed, and underwhelming. The first scene when Ryuk appears, that was girly screaming. That was awesome. However, when it comes to Light Parker, which is what I'm going to refer to him as at the moment,
It's not far off from Light Turner, to be honest. It's pretty sad.
Well, it's because of the whole They Spider-Man'd him. If you look at the plot for Spider-Man, the first movie, dude, this is Spider-Man with Final Destination, and I think it's hilarious that Willem Dafoe is Ryuk because, we're gonna call him the Black Goblin. Because
Tawny literally was saying that when we were watching, and she's like, "Wait a minute, it's like holy crap, it's like Spider-Man, except oh man, this is terrible." Like I don't know. I think for me, Ryuk was a really cool character in the movie. He made the movie worth watching. If Ryuk was not in the movie at all, if he was just some disembodied voice,
it would have been better. No, it wouldn't have been better.
No, it wouldn't have. I mean, if Ryuk was not only there verbally but physically as well, if you take one of those aspects out, the movie would have been unwatchable. Because L couldn't carry that movie. Hell, Atlas couldn't carry that movie. Like this, I can't say I liked the movie.
I think it was aimed at a teenage audience, and that's probably why, grown adults with thinking brains are like, what? One of the twists that I actually liked in the movie, because I hated every other twist, the one twist I did like in the movie is the Ferris wheel twist. Mm-hmm. How we found out how that all went down.
Yeah, it wasn't bad. I think M. Night Shyamalama Ding Dong could take a few notes, but I don't know. Like I said, I wish they had taken their time with it. I feel like they didn't think it would be popular enough to warrant a whole gaggle of movies on it, so they just did as much as they could with it to fill in a movie to try and make it all make sense, but it just didn't. It fell flat.
Tara, you and I are going to rewatch it,
Mm-hmm.
and then...
Yeah. Ryuk was very creepy.
He's supposed to be. In the anime, he's worse by 1,000 times.
Yeah, I've seen
I never got that vibe in the anime from him that he was like really, really creepy. I mean, he looks creepy, sure, but I didn't really get the whole creep vibe. The movie actually did a good job. That's one of the few things it did a good job at, was intensifying the creep factor of Ryuk. It's a death god, okay? It's not supposed to be like... You're not supposed to be hanging out with Little Red Riding Hood. It's not supposed to feel like that. It's a death god. It's supposed to be creepy. You're in the presence of death. So I think that was one of the things that my girlfriend didn't like, was that you couldn't quite... He wasn't in full view. Like, every shot of him was overshadowed. Like, literally overshadowed. Or blurred. Or just, like, peripheral view. And I think, in my opinion, I think that was a good thing. I think they did a good job with that because, I don't know, I think, in my mind I see, okay, it's a death god. You don't want to stare straight at something that supernaturally powerful. It'll do terrible things to you. It's kind of how I view it, and I think they did a good job portraying him as being more creepy because they used the effects in such a fashion.
That's fair. Yeah. So let us know what you guys thought of the movie, because obviously I'm giving it 2 web slingers out of 10.
I'm giving it 3 goblin bombs out of 10.
I don't know.
Fair enough.
She gives it an Uncle Ben.
Dead on arrival.
She,
OMG.